I do a lot of keyword research on topics about YouTube. What questions are people asking about YouTube? People want to know how to get more views, and they want to know how to make money on YouTube. We're covering that question. How do you make money on YouTube? Welcome to Soul, Valerie.
Thanks for having me.
Real excited to have you here. I know you've got some questions about this, about how to make money on YouTube. I mean, would you phrase it that same way, or what are you wondering?
Well, I think that's the question everyone has, right? Like, if I'm going to do this social media strategy, whether it's YouTube or something else, how am I going to get my return on my investment? So a lot of people are really wondering, and I get the question a lot, and honestly, I'd love to hear your opinion just from being a YouTube expert. What are the various different ways that people make money on YouTube?
Okay, well, the first way that people think of is the ad revenue. They see a lot of YouTube stars or YouTube celebrities that apparently are making millions of dollars. How are they doing that? Well, one way that they're doing that is through the YouTube Partner Program. YouTube shares their revenue. It's pretty cool. And I will say that this is a small part of the revenue potentially you could make from YouTube. So we'll go into a few things. So advertisers pay money to YouTube to put their ads in front of your videos. And because of their partner program, guess what YouTube does with that money? They actually pay 55% of that ad spend to you as the creator. And that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool that YouTube would give. That was such a brilliant thing they did from the beginning. No other platform can even compete with it. I mean, think of Facebook. Facebook wants to compete with that, and they've tried to introduce a partner program, but Facebook makes so much advertising revenue. For them to take 55% of it and start paying it to people, they're never going to do that. And so they just can't compete. That is one way that people make money on YouTube, is through the advertising. Now, how much does that add up to? You've got to be getting millions of views to make thousands of dollars.
Okay.
Okay,
so you have to have a big enough channel or a big enough following or a good enough video that's going to get those kinds of views, correct?
Mm-hmm. And it has to be an advertiser-friendly video. You have to have at least 1,000 subscribers before you can join that partner program. So if you get lucky and just have one cute kitten video that just goes viral,
sure,
you might not get paid anything for that. That might get you to the threshold that maybe your next viral video can make you a few dollars. But I associate with so many YouTubers that are really, really struggling. I mean, I even read an article. There was a lady that's a musician. She has a fantastic following, 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. She was performing at VidCon, a big YouTube conference in Southern California. The article went on to say they interviewed her after her stage performance to raving fans at VidCon, that she was nervous because she didn't know how she was going to buy food. She didn't have any food in her fridge at home. She couldn't afford to even feed herself, yet she just was on a stage with raving fans. Now the crazy thing is, and that'll lead into the next big category of how to make money on YouTube, is you could set up your own business. Imagine if she put on her own concerts.
Right.
Imagine if she sold her own music. I mean, I didn't know anything about her specifically. I just remember reading that, like, wow, 500,000 subscribers and she can't afford to buy food. She must be making a little bit of money,
sure, but
not enough to provide a living. So most people will have another side job, and then for many, many years build up that income, and eventually it's enough that they can replace their job. But you have to be consistent for many years to even make that possible.
Yeah. So are there other ways outside of actual ad money on YouTube that people can make money from their YouTube video?
So we will talk more about the building a business side, but there is another way. There's a website called Patreon. Have you heard of that?
I have.
Okay.
It's a great website.
Do you know much about it?
I know a little bit.
Do you know anyone that's making big money through Patreon?
I do know. I do have a client that's making enough that could be considered full-time income from it.
Okay, that's awesome.
But she's also an author and has other stuff going on too. So maybe that feeds into another point of yours.
Okay. Well, I'll explain it from my perspective, what I've seen, because I don't use Patreon myself, but I'm fans of some people who are making huge, huge money. In fact, should I show you?
Sure.
Let's take a look. Let me turn on my screen recorder. So while I was loading up Patreon, you just shared something that I didn't even know. Go ahead and tell the audience what you just shared.
Sure. Yeah. So Patreon just released some new terms of service they go into effect today, which is May 6th. And so I think you have until the end of today, but as of starting May 7th, the new terms of service have slightly different agreements. And so they were really pushing people that if you wanted to get in under the original pay structure and payout structure and terms of service, you wanted to do it before the end of May 6th.
Very cool. Good to know. So if you're
It's
watching
always
this video,
changing.
it's too late. Okay, so there is a YouTube channel called Sailing La Vagabond. La Vagabond is the name of their yacht. It's an
Okay.
Australian couple. They're now a family of 3. They have a newborn, but they've been traveling the world for like 4 or 5 years on a yacht.
Oh, wow.
And they vlog about it. Well, they have a lot of fans or followers or crew that get to, they go to this website, Patreon. Let me bring them up. It's Sailing La Vagabond. So this is Riley and Elena. Now they don't show the dollar amounts anymore as far
Right.
as, but they have 2,688 people
It's quite a lot.
that are paying them. And what are they paying? Like right here, if I were to become a patron, click that button right there, and I could pay $3 per episode, then I get these extra perks.
Nice.
And if I were to pay $5 or more per episode, I get a little sticker, it looks like. Okay, you can go, oh, what's this? You get these, I don't know what you call those, beer cooler thingies?
Koozies?
Is that what they're called?
I think they're called koozies.
And I get koozies if I paid $10 or more per video. They put out a couple episodes per week.
Oh, wow.
Going down the list, we've got, you can join at the $50 per, so they have patrons at all these levels. Back when they used to show the numbers, I know it was at least $12,000 per episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. That it's crowdsourcing or crowdfunding for
Yes.
creators.
Now, are they putting these up on YouTube as well, or did they become famous on YouTube first and now have Patreon?
So that's a very good question. They've been on YouTube for a long time. I don't know when they started, if they knew how successful they would be, and if they
Sure.
started on Patreon, I really don't know. But I do know this. Their main content they put on YouTube, and then they have additional content that they provide just for their patrons. They also have other perks as well, because I've seen them do a drawing from their patrons to invite them to come and spend time with them on their yacht.
Oh, that's fun.
And they've put on gatherings, like when they were in Florida recently, they had a gathering of their patron community to come and have a party with them in Florida. And so they have different perks and stuff like that.
So they're thinking beyond YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is the foundation. It's where things are all centered, but there's so much more than just YouTube.
Yeah, in their case, it is really heavy on YouTube, and then Patreon is how they make ad revenue, but their Patreon income revenue is massive.
Yeah.
And the yacht that they've been living on for the last year or so is actually through a sponsor. So they
very
had
cool.
a monohull yacht, shaped like a regular boat, and then this catamaran company in France contacted them, and they ended up working out a deal. They did buy this yacht, but it was at a significant discount.
Oh, wow.
Because they would be vlogging about that yacht for years.
And they were almost brand ambassadors then for the yacht.
They have definitely become brand ambassadors for
amazing.
that yacht, and it's an amazing like $1 million plus amazing yacht. So that's how they're making money on YouTube. They make their whole livelihood, their whole life is based on YouTube. If YouTube disappeared, they would be in big trouble. They'd have to find a new platform, another way for people to. So they are on Instagram, but the main content they do put it all on YouTube.
But it does sound like they've diversified a little bit. They're not just on YouTube. They've got Patreon, they've got Instagram, they've got other things. So they're using it kind of as a comprehensive approach. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, you can make money on ads, you can make money with Patreon, but are there other ways that you can use YouTube as a tool, maybe, for building income or making money?
Really, my favorite way to make money on YouTube is to use YouTube to grow a tribe of people who want to buy things from you, your own business, your own products or services. And so we could make a whole series of videos about how to start a business or how to sell a product or how to create a service, how to price a service and sell it. So that's a topic really for another episode or whole series of episodes. But think of it this way. Maybe I'll give it as a story, as an example. In fact, let me show you. I'm going to show you an example of a channel that's made money a few ways that are very common on YouTube, and then how he transitioned into the business side, kind of, and how huge of a payoff it is. Okay. So his name is Derek Moeller. He's got a channel called Veritasium. It's a science channel. So this is him right here. That's Derek. The thumbnail there. So he's been making videos a lot. He typically puts out one video a week. In fact, instead of scrolling down, let me just do a search. I'm going to search for a Facebook video he did about Facebook. So this is how I first discovered him, and he put out this video 5 years ago. So that's when I discovered this guy.
Wow.
It's because it's kind of a marketing topic.
Yeah.
And then I just loved his video style, and I've been following him ever since. And so he makes science videos. After making this video, he actually came to Utah, where we're filming right now. He went down to Brigham Young University because they have a really cool sound lab. I never knew about it, but they've got this like 3-foot thick sound foam all around the entire room, and they close this door, and it's supposed to be the quietest room on the planet or something like that. Well, he filmed a video there, and then he went to Chernobyl and he filmed a video about radiation. I just thought, how is he making a living? How does he travel?
Sure.
So I learned about the AdSense advertising. At the end of a lot of his videos, he'll often reference a book, and he'll put an affiliate link to Audible. And so I thought, okay, he's making some affiliate revenue from Audible. He did get paid to speak, or I did see that he was speaking at different conferences about science or YouTube. And so maybe he's getting speaker fees. But I always wonder, man, imagine if he started his own business. You know, he's got millions of subscribers. Now he's up to 5.4 million subscribers. Imagine if he put on a science event, or if he created a science product. Well, a few years after I started following him, let me show you something else. He created this product, Snadums, and this was his typical style of video, very educational. He talked about how this molecule kit, there's magnets in it, and the bonds would rotate. Really? And so instead of the ball and stick model, and he used this video to launch a Kickstarter campaign. Now, typically things on Kickstarter are more viral in nature when they succeed. Like, it might be a solar-powered water bottle that pulls water from the atmosphere. That's pretty cool sounding. I want to fund that. Well, a molecule kit, you wouldn't know that it would do so well. In fact, let me just go to Kickstarter. Okay, so if I search for Snadums, okay, he wanted to raise $42,000. Okay. He put up this video on his YouTube channel, and he hit that goal within 2 hours. Wow. 2 hours, because he had that loyal tribe and following. I don't know if it will show here. Here it is. In the course of his campaign, like 5 weeks or so, he made over $500,000.
That's amazing.
So, wow. I mean, that's huge. He was obviously making a living through the other means, but in a matter of 5 weeks to bring in $500,000. The example that I want to point out with that story is that when you have a business, when you have your own product or service, that's where you can really take YouTube to another level in making a living, making income. So whenever I talk about this, there's always follow-up questions about how to make money on YouTube. So ask those questions below. I will answer them there, and we'll see you in the next episode.